What an exhilarating event we've had. It's been a really power-packed Great India Retail Summit 24. And Sonu, we are here now to really summarize everything, bring it all together, to understand what it is to be a leader, to be an inspirational figure in the world on the silver screen and very much off the silver screen. And on that note, I don't think much more introduction is required. It was a really beautiful AV to showcase some of your work. But Sonu, could you tell us a little bit how you started your journey, and was there any a personal anecdote or a pivotal moment that you can share, maybe one that people don't know about, that really got you onto your philanthropic path?
Yeah, thank you, Devina, for those kind words, and thank you so much for making this evening special. And I know many of you are much more bigger achievers than me, but yes, I'm here to learn from you guys also. But yes, this journey started, this boy from Punjab, Moga, who wanted to become an engineer, became one, and then was bitten by this acting bug, came to Mumbai with a lot of dreams, wanted to make my parents proud, and I always thought that, ringing those box office numbers, being a part of some big projects was something that I always wanted to do. Till I actually got the awakening in my life during COVID, when I realized that bringing a smile on a common man's face is what life is all about. And that's the time I explored that, life is something much more than, sometimes running behind your goals. So still miles to go, but yeah, the journey is on, and every single day I learn, and I believe that what my mom used to say, that कि सोनू अपनी जिंदगी में की कलम में दुआओं की स्याही डाल ले, फिर देख तेरा नाम पन्नों पर नहीं आसमान पर लिखा जाएगा. So just thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And you are involved in really a wide area of philanthropic activities. You have so many initiatives of your own. I believe you're also so forthcoming on the sets of your films that people will come up to you just to talk offline as well. Are there any specific projects close to your heart? I know, for example, you have Suroj Serenity, one of the old age homes. You sponsor students in India to cross the UPSC exams. Any projects that are really, really close to your heart?
Devina, when I started this journey, I never knew anything how to actually, address those problems. But all the people who came for help, they are the ones who taught me how to do it. I remember, a lot of people who have been running NGOs and these foundations for so many years. They called me and said, "Ki Sonu, जो तू कर रहा है वो ज़्यादा देर तक चल नहीं पाएगा, because it won't लास्ट, क्योंकि इस देश में इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स है लोगों को कि जब तू हेल्प करने लगेगा तो पूरा देश आने लगेगा और वो बंद हो जाएगी तेरी वॉट एवर जर्नी यू हैव स्टार्टेड." सो आई थॉट दैट आई कांट जस्ट specify myself into one vertical, which I would say just I want to help people who need some kind of medical attention or something in studies. So there are almost 400, 500 people that come to my house every single day from all over, from different parts of the country. So when I speak to them, you have a kidney transplant problem, you have a liver transplant, you want to study, I speak to the colleges, I speak to the hospitals, I speak to the doctors. So slowly the whole network started building in, and in no time I was connected to almost all the hospitals across the country, a lot of institutes, and I still speak to them. And I started exploring that, if you don't limit yourself, then there are no boundaries. So now with Sood Charity Foundation, the foundation that I started, I fund that foundation from my own side also, and the friends who want to be a part of my mission, they also connect. But we are, we have expanded into many verticals. Like I said, I remember there was, I always wanted to do knee replacement surgeries and hip replacement surgery. So when I started this mission, one of the gentlemen said कि इस प्रॉब्लम को बहुत ज़्यादा लोग सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि ये लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग नहीं है. जब जो लोग कैंसर से पीड़ित हैं या जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं उनको लोग सपोर्ट करते हैं, नी रिप्लेसमेंट्स और हिप रिप्लेसमेंट्स को प्रॉब्लम्स को नहीं सपोर्ट करेंगे. सो देन आई स्टार्टेड दिस थिंग कॉल्ड अब रुकना नहीं. Because most of the parents who grow old, they don't want to trouble their kids कि यार मेरी सर्जरी करवानी है, 2.5-3 लाख रुपए लगेंगे. They said कि यार बच्चा कमा रहा है, चलो I'll manage somehow. They keep on prolonging that need, and it never happens. So we started that mission, which was Ab Rukna Nahi, and with hundreds of surgeries like that. And all those parents who were back on their feet, still I meet them. They sometimes come to Mumbai to see me, and they said, "कि हमारी ज़िंदगी बदल गई है." So I realized that you shouldn't draw any particular rules when you want to help. You just have to be a hope for someone, and then God will teach you how to do it.
Absolutely, and a hope for thousands of people, lakhs of people, you truly are. So how do you manage, Sonu? So you're Sonu the philanthropist, the artist, the entrepreneur now. How do you allocate your time? Is there any prioritization that you have in the various hats that you don?
I feel sometimes movies can wait, but problems can't. So whenever I go for my workouts in the morning, people know what time I'll be available. So morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, people start coming in front of my building, so I have to meet them before I go. On Sundays, especially, they know that, if he's in the country, he's definitely going to meet us. So on Sundays, a huge crowd that we get.
Not even one day off for you then.
So sometimes, you can't say when you suddenly see that problem in front of you, can't say, "Ki yaar boss, agle hafte aana hai," ya, I can't do that. So I try to do it, like I said, but I know a lot of times we fail. Sometimes you're not able to do it, but I think as long as you put an effort towards it, it's very important. मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि उम्मीद और कोशिश दो सबसे बड़ी शब्द हैं. अगर लोगों को आपसे उम्मीद नहीं है तो आपका जीने का कोई मतलब नहीं है, और अगर आप किसी के लिए कोशिश नहीं कर सकते तो भी आपका जीने का कोई मतलब नहीं है.
Really wonderful. But, when you say that you're not sure you can do it all, well, certainly from our point of view, that's not how it seems. And for example, your film Fateh, I believe you have covered the entire spectrum of the production, from writing it, producing it, and being the artist in it. So again, as a leader, how do you pull that off?
When I was helping people, so I came across a lot of problems with the cybercrime. So a lot of people got cheated when they tried to get in touch with me. So their accounts were hacked. So we registered almost close to 250 FIRs across the country. So when I actually went into the whole thing, I thought that it's a very big issue that we need to address, the cybercrime. From the poor to an established one, everyone gets trapped in the whole system. So I started writing this script. One of the farmers had committed suicide in Punjab because he got into the fake loan app, the whole trap it was laid. So when I started writing, I thought I have to produce it also. We produced that film. And since it was my story, I had written it. So I thought, directing the film, one thing I do. I write a lot of the dialogues in a lot of my movies. Dabang, when it was written, a lot of hit dialogues of Dabang were written by me. I never took any credit for that, but I still do.
Very much
and all the directors, writers I worked with, they say कि यार सोनू तो लिखता बड़ा अच्छा है. I remember, in one of the lines that from Fateh, which I never shared, but I would like to share on this platform because we have all these achievers sitting in front of me. So there was one line in which a cop says to Fateh कि इंसान को अपनी हैसियत के मुताबिक बात करनी चाहिए. And I say कि हैसियत भी आसमान जैसी होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ज़मीन कितनी भी महंगी हो, कोई ना कोई खरीद ही लेता है.
Thank you. That's the first here at GIRS being shared with us. Thank you. Really, really inspirational. And also, keeping in mind your very much public persona and your philanthropic one, how do you select the projects, say when it comes especially to brand partnerships? We're here at GIRS after all. So how do you pick your partnerships to really align with your values, your missions, and your overall image in society?
When I started as an actor, I used to do a lot of, though I've done many positive roles also, but a lot of negative roles are big hits. So when I used to speak to my agencies, कि यार नए brands कौन से आए हैं, they said कि यार they all like you, but somehow brands are not ready to really sign, क्योंकि आपकी image थोड़ी सी आप negative roles कर लेते हो bit. मैं यार ये तो गलत बात है. But then a phase passed and COVID happened, and whatever little I could do, and suddenly all those brands, all those years there of when those brands never looked, they all came. Though I charged 10 times that I would have done earlier. But I also made them a part of my mission. I remember I signed a mobile brand, and I said कि I'll do it, but let's do something for the kids who want to do online education. So we distributed close to 5,500 smartphones. I started a brand with the steel brand, so we built a lot of homes. I started with the light brand, so we lit almost 16 to 17 villages. So I think all the people that I worked with, I somehow started getting them collaborated with the mission. I remember, once I landed in Dubai. So there's a gentleman who came to me and he said, Sonu, can I get a selfie click? So he got a selfie click and said, we run a chain of hospitals and you had done a bone marrow transplant surgery and a liver transplant surgery in one of our centers in Kerala and Bangalore. So how can we collaborate, you as a brand ambassador? So I said, let's sit over a cup of coffee next day. So next day when we sat over a cup of coffee and I said, he said, so what are the deliverables? How many times you'll come to the hospital? We'll shoot this ad and what all we can do. I said, my fees is zero, but sponsor me 50 liver transplant surgeries for the poor kids. And finally, we could do that. And, one surgery is almost 27 to 28 lakhs. So it amounted to almost 12 crores. We have done 29 liver transplant surgeries, 21 still we can do. And a lot of time, Devina, when we do these surgeries, all these doctors, for example, I remember Dr. Vijay Verma in Apollo Hospitals, and Mr. Subramaniam was the CEO of Apollo in Hyderabad. So when I used to get those surgeries done, so a lot of time doctors used to say, if for example, doctor gets paid 6.5 lakhs for that surgery from the hospital, so doctor said, Sonu ki surgery, sir, main paise nahi lunga. So they used to leave that surgery. So at
Inspired by you?
Yeah. So somehow, I think it was a collective mission. And, when people used to ask me, Sonu, tu karta hai kaise? So I always used to say, I don't think twice calling somebody I don't know for somebody I don't know. So I think that's how it happened.
Wonderful pieces of advice again for our leaders, all the leaders out here in the audience. And speaking of leadership, you're also very much connected to the startup ecosystem in India. You, in fact, have your own initiative, Explorer, which we'd love to know a little bit more about. Can you tell us a bit about what you've learned, all your key learnings as a leader, be it in the space of philanthropy or on the silver screen, and also entrepreneurship? What are some of the key learnings?
I think in the world of startups, I'm sure, many more experienced people are sitting in front of us. But yes, I'm a good learner. The verticals that I chose, I remember one of the things that I started was something called Pravasi Rozgar, where we were giving jobs to the people. And at the time, Temasek came on board with us and, they partnered with us. Now, Explorer is doing pretty well. I started something called Intercell, which provides education to a lot of people and it's connected with a lot of universities. So I always believe that, everyone has an idea, but sometimes, execution and the right direction is one thing that has to come together. I always give my time to all those ideas. I try to listen to them. It's not that I understand everything, but I try to connect those dots where, a good idea with a little bit of my contribution and some expert brain can make that thing happen. So that's what I try to do. And I'm sure this is how, big missions are achieved. And today also, I've got to know that a lot of new ideas are, under this roof. So we'll try to explore something. And who knows, next time when you're sitting on this dais, we'll have many more big, companies coming up.
Sure, that might be a hint to our audience here today. So do take stock. And again, for all our entrepreneurs and startup entrepreneurs out here today, what are some of the key trends you're seeing in the whole startup ecosystem here in India? What's really exciting you personally at the moment?
I think a lot of people are getting into startups, but it's not something very easy to crack and, make those things big. People have a lot of belief in their ideas, and but somewhere execution and to sustain that kind of momentum is a key challenge that most of the people face. But I'm sure, something which is right and with an experienced people and experienced body behind, you can't stop them. And that's the way, but everyone has to keep on going. It's not important that whether you make to the top or not, but tomorrow you shouldn't feel that you never tried.
Well, I'm sure very inspiring for our audience out here. So again, as a public figure, now we're talking to Sonu, the entrepreneur, amongst the various hats we are discussing today. What role do you see yourself playing in supporting the startup ecosystem in India, and how do you see the future really pan out?
No, I think it's got a great future. Where we have a lot of there's a separate family of the friends that I have, which solely worked on the startup ideas and try to support all the new ideas and how to spend time listening to those ideas. And if we see a little spark in that, we try our best. A lot of times we fail also, but we don't stop that thing. And I'm sure. When something big is, bound to happen, automatically those dots get connected by Almighty. So I think as long as that window is open, we should keep on trying.
What keeps you going? At the end of the day, there's so many incredibly inspiring things you're doing. What is really your driving factor?
I feel that still we have miles to go. But the biggest lesson that I've learned from past few years is that there's nothing more satisfying than saving a life, bringing a smile on an unknown face. Doesn't really matter whether you have met a person or not, but when you change your life and someone somewhere sitting in some part of the country or the world is blessing you, that's the biggest high. And no box office numbers can match that. I would say I must have done close to 90 to 100 movies in my entire career in all different languages. But I think if you collectively put all those box office number, still it's much more less than one smile that I must have got on someone's face. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sonu. So inspiring, so much food for thought you've left us here with. It would be very unfair to the audience if I didn't give them a chance to interact with you as well. So we can open up the floor for a few questions before we wrap up. We'll send mics across, and I'm sure the audience would love to talk to you as well. Yeah, there we go. Mics in the front, please.
My name is Bipin Gala. I'm from Vishal Computer. So I just want to know, during the COVID time, you helped so many people. So what's the kind of happiness feeling in yourself? Can you explain that?
So it's phenomenal. I can tell you, I used to work for almost 22 to 23 hours every single day. And I never used to get tired. Sometimes when you shoot or sometimes you watch movies, you feel tired. But I think it's a feeling that I've never experienced. I remember those lines every single day when I used to help people. My mom used to say that, कि सोनू कभी अपनी मुट्ठी खोल कर तो देख, शायद तेरी हाथ की लकीरों में किसी की जान बचाना लिखा हो. So, that's what I have experienced every single day. And, a lot of my, whenever I go on my sets, generally we pack up, let's say at 6 p.m. in the evening and all, but I'm always there till 9:30 because, sometimes a spot boy or a light man or a taxi driver or someone will say, कि sir, जब pack up हो जाएगा ना 5 minutes, I have a problem, so I'll come and see you. So I think that gives you a different high, and I'm glad that awakening happened in my life. Otherwise, we were running behind those big banners, big producers, big directors, and that has happened to me also. I was shooting for a very big film with a very, very big banner. Pre-COVID, and then it was 80% complete. And when the COVID got over and I went back on the set to complete the film, suddenly those sets, everything started looking very small, and said कि यार पूरी जिंदगी इसके पीछे भाग रहे थे, पर ये तो बड़ी छोटी सी दुनिया है. But I think that's what life is all about.
Wonderful. I think the lady has the mic. Yeah.
So I have a question. Sometimes, when you help others, you probably end up helping wrong people also.
Yeah.
Like people come with some hidden agenda, you're not aware. So how do you deal with that ill feeling, like you help someone, but that person...
So that will always be there. I'll tell you a very example in a very short thing. So there was this guy, I was getting his liver transplant done. His name was Shubham. They were from Jodhpur. So मेरे एक दोस्त ने मुझे phone किया. He said कि सोनू इसका liver transplant करवाना है. So again, the costs were around about 28 lakhs. So I spoke to Apollo hospitals in Hyderabad. मैंने अपने मैंने बोला कि सर इसका करवाना, अदरवाइज दिस गाय वोंट गेट सेव्ड. सो द फैमिली हैड 1.5 लाख रुपीज. आई सेड कि सर बहुत कम है आपके पास, थोड़े से आप और अरेंज करो, तो बाकी रेस्ट मैं करता हूँ. सो समवेयर आई स्पोक टू द डॉक्टर्स, फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज, बेड्स करके. जो 28 lakhs की सर्जरी थी, हमने 18 lakhs में मैंने 10 लाख कम करवाया. आई स्पोक टू द CM ऑफिस इन राजस्थान. आई गॉट 10 lakhs स्पॉन्सर फ्रॉम देम ऑल्सो. सो बाकी का 8 lakhs था, 2.5-3 लाख रुपए जो भी उस फैमिली से इकट्ठा हुआ, बाकी 4.5 lakhs हम लोगों ने दे दिए. सर्जरी होगी, द किड गॉट क्योर्ड, दे वेंट बैक, एंड आफ्टर अ मंथ व्हेन द बिल कम्स, सो उसमें वो 14-15 lakhs का बिल आया. सो आई कॉल्ड द हॉस्पिटल कि सर वो तो 10 lakhs आ गया था CM के ऑफिस से. सर नहीं सर आया नहीं. सो आई कॉल्ड द फैमिली. सो बाय मिस्टेक दैट 10 lakhs वेंट टू द फैमिली. So when we called the family कि सर वो अब 10 लाख आपके पास आए हुए हैं, प्लीज़ डिपॉजिट इन द हॉस्पिटल. कि सर अभी तो बच्चा है, उसको बड़ा भी तो होना है, हमें पालना भी तो है. सो आई सेड यार पालना है तो बच्चा बचा है उसको, एटलीस्ट यू हैव टू गिव दैट मनी. बट दे सेड नहीं सर, वी ऑलरेडी स्पेंड, वी खर्च हो गए. सो माई फ्रेंड हु हैड रिकमेंडेड दैट केस, सो ही गॉट वेरी एंग्री कि सर सोनू भाई इनको हेल्प करना ही नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे ही अच्छे हैं मरते लोग. सो ही गॉट वेरी एंग्री. सो आई सेड नो, इट्स ओके. आई थिंक दिस इज अगेन ए लेसन, लर्निंग इन लाइफ, और I mean, someone is testing us whether we should stop or not. बोलते हैं ना कि जब तक रास्ते के अंदर स्पीड ब्रेकर्स ना आए तो पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि ये रास्ता सही है या नहीं. So I think when speed breakers come, we know we are in the right direction.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. My name is Praful Lalai. I am from Mumbai. Sir, you are a true human being, which everybody's heart you reside.
Thank you so much.
And it is well said that the justice needs to be done and it has to be seen. You have proved that to the 100%, more than 100%, 1000% you have proved yourself. Now, I would like to ask you one question. Sir, where do you see within the 5 years, what is your vision for next 5 years?
So my vision is for 5 generations actually. I want this to continue forever. But tomorrow I'm not sure whether I'll be around or not. But I always tell my kids when I'm traveling, my sons are always down to see all those patients, and I make sure that they are down and they meet them. So all the people who come, they're uneducated people and they feel कि यार हम तो बड़ी मुश्किल से अपना कूलर बेच के, अपना मोबाइल फ़ोन बेच के, अपना साइकिल बेच कर, स्कूटर बेच के वहाँ पे पहुँचे हैं. सो वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू गो बैक. वी विल वेट फॉर हिम इवन इफ ही इज टेकिंग 8-10 days to come back, but we are not leaving this. Try to sleep in front of my house. So my sons, they go and they meet those people and they said कि मेरे से वीडियो कॉल पे बात कराएंगे कि डोंट वरी सर, वी गो बैक टू योर प्लेस, विल गेट दोज डन. सो आई वांट टू स्टार्ट दैट thing which it's not just restricted to my thing. So I want to make this family very big, where people from different verticals, different fields, different cities, different small towns, they connect with us and we can help all of them. So yes, I know maybe after 5 years the family will be bigger and stronger.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, sorry ladies and gentlemen, that's the last question.
Devina, I just have a comment to make.
Yeah.
Right in front.
Yeah. Hi sir.
Hi Sonu.
Hi sir.
My name is Muqbil Ahmed. I'm the executive editor at one of the verticals with the Economic Times. और it's not a question. आपने बहुत सारी बात हिंदी और हिंदुस्तानी में की और हम लोग एक काफ़ी देर से एक कॉन्वर्सेशन वैसे ही चल रहा है, जबकि आपने बहुत सारी बातें हिंदुस्तानी में भी बोली. तो आपके लिए एक शेर मैं कहना चाहता हूँ जो मुझे लगा कि इज़ वेरी एप्ट. पता नहीं कितने लोगों को उस शेर के बारे में जानकारी है. बहुत फेमस शेर है. हजारों साल नरगिस अपने बेनूरी पे रोती है. नरगिस एक पेड़ को कहते हैं, एक पेड़, उसमें फूल बहुत बहुत टाइम के बाद आता है. हजारों साल नरगिस अपने बेनूरी पे रोती है, बहुत मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा. A round of applause for the wonderful work that Sonu is doing. तो मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाह रहा था, क्योंकि आप खुद भी लेखक हैं, आप लिखते हैं, तो मुझे लगा कि शायद ये शेर
अच्छा लिखते हैं सर. नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं आपको भी पकड़ूंगा सर, आ जाओ कि साथ में
Yes,
मिलकर
Muqbil
लिखेंगे.
is one of our great poets in
Thank
house.
you,
So
thank you.
नहीं, एक देवीना आपकी बात पे बोलते हैं, जैसे सर ने पूछा, प्रफुल्ल जी ने पूछा कि क्या बाद में जब इंसान रहता है नहीं रहता है, पता नहीं आपकी जो जर्नी है उसको कैसे आगे लेके जाते हैं. बोलते हैं कि किरदार ईमानदार रखना, जनाजा शानदार निकलेगा.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sonu. Truly, there are no words to express. What a beautiful way to come to the close of GIRS 24. We have a few more sessions, but this is really the icing at the top. So thank you so much. A true humanitarian with a heart of gold here, inspiring the entire audience here tonight. So
And you know, sorry to interrupt, Devina, and I would also like to add to the whole thing. I know these sessions are there, many more sessions to come, but I think this session will only be complete if we connect and we save a lot of lives. So yes, Sood Charity Foundation, Sonu Sood is always there for you. Please please feel free to connect anytime with us. And yes, together we should bring that change. And wherever you need me, I'm just a phone call away. Thank you so much for this. Yeah.